Hi everyone, I'm attorney John Overchuck with the Overchuck Law Firm. We're here with Daryl Payne, our dog expert. Daryl, tell us a little about yourself.
Hey John, yeah, Daryl Payne. I am the owner of Pawfections Dog Training. I'm a former police canine, so I've got 25 years dealing with some of the most aggressive dogs in the world, and I know we're talking about safety today.
Absolutely. So what do we do to keep our loved ones safe?
Well, somewhere like the Pet-A-Palooza or in public spaces, there's a couple of things that are very important. The first thing we need to talk about is the equipment, because that's the foundation for everything. Some certain leashes, these fixed leashes are ideal. A 6-foot fixed leash is going to give you plenty of control.
Okay.
These kind of leashes, I know they're popular and they have their place in training.
I have one of those.
Yeah, in a public arena, they're a little bit unpredictable. This button can lock and not actually stop this coming out, so we can end up with problems. So in a public space or a limited space, these things I think best left at home.
Okay, good to know.
So a fixed leash like this. The next thing, the collar, a nice collar which is properly fitting. If you look at Sophie's here, Sophie's here that's too loose. See, I can get my whole hand in there.
Okay.
And what we tend to do as humans, we don't like things around our neck, so we think let's make it as loose as possible.
So how do you know the right length?
Well, the ideal thing would be a kind of 1 or 2 fingers under there.
Okay.
As a general rule, if you can pull the collar over the dog's head, then it's too loose, because what will happen is when dogs get into a situation where they're in conflict, they'll try and escape first of all. If they can get out, now we've got a frightened dog or an aggressive dog who's off leash. If they can't escape and we don't pull them away from the trouble, we end up in a fight. So we want to try and avoid this, so we haven't got a dog loose in the Pet-A-Palooza causing problems for us.
We just heard a great safety tip about the collars. Tell us some more safety tips to keep our dogs safe.
Well, one of the things here at the Pet-A-Palooza, John, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of dogs around, and everyone's excited because they're having a good time. We've brought our kids along. One of the things I think that's important is that we don't let the children hold the dog. In the clip that we shot earlier with my daughter, you can see how holding a large dog, she's clearly not able to actually control. If that dog gets distracted and takes off, then we've got some problems, because now we've got a child injured or we've got a child being dragged, maybe held by a leash, and anything can happen. So I think it's best here that the adults keep the dogs.
Absolutely, good tip, good tip. Tons of dogs at this event. Tell us some of the things the owners should do to keep their dogs safe when the interactions with the two animals.
Well, John, clearly we want people to meet and we want people to chat with each other. You know, it's a big social event. Unfortunately, dogs don't see it as social meetings. When dogs meet for the first time, it doesn't always go well, because when they first meet, they're looking to establish dominance over anything else. It's not a social club. You know, how things in the Labrador world, yeah, can't complain. How's things in the boxer world? As far as they're concerned, am I above you or am I below you? And sometimes the problem with us is that we think they're just having fun chatting with each other. So a good thing to do when they're meeting for the first time is that the leash is kept nice and loose. So the dog doesn't feel like it's threatened. You see Sophie's body language here. See how she stiffens up because I've shortened that leash down. If I relax the leash, she relaxes. But we want to be ready so that when they meet another dog, if those signs of aggression, the stiffening up, the ears coming forward or the ears back, the tail up like a periscope, these are warning flags. And these warning flags are important to pick up early, because if that happens, a little flick on that leash, leave it, just to switch the dog off. When the dog's filling with adrenaline, we need to switch that adrenaline off, otherwise we're going to end up with a problem. And something like Ghostbusters, don't cross the streams, never cross those leashes.
Great example, I like it. Okay, thanks. So for our event today, what's the best way for dogs and dog owners to come meet each other? Is there a safe way?
Well, yeah, I mean there is. Every dog is different. What we want to avoid, and if we can see on the video here, we want to avoid children running up to the cute dogs, and there's some lovely dogs here, but
a big old hug.
Oh yeah, big old bear hug around the neck. You look on this video, look at this dog's face. It's not happy about this. Remember the fight or flight instinct. What we've effectively done here is we've cornered the dog, and if the dog can't get away, there's only attack left. So, and that will happen too quick.
What about the old way of putting your hand up slowly and letting the dog smell your hand?
Well, this is an interesting one, and the reason that you put your hand up like this, what you're actually saying is, I know you're going to bite me, and if you do, there's going to be less damage this side than this side. So the old adage of thrusting your hand out, you imagine if I thrust my hand out to you, you're going to go, wait,
not a good idea.
So you're expecting to be bitten. The best thing to meet a dog, if the owner says it's okay, then just stand there with your hands like this, let the dog sniff your hands first, maybe just stroke it like this as it comes forward. But as an owner, we need to be looking at the body language, and if we think that things are going wrong, a little check back and switch that dog off. As a parent, we need to be doing the same thing. We need to be ready. If we think that things are developing, So just pull that gently away. Don't pull them real quick, because that will excite the chase drive. And if we suddenly go away, the dog gets all brave and jumps on them.
And again, what's some of the body language we should be looking out for?
We should be looking, the red flags are the ears back, tail between the legs. That's a fear aggression.
Okay.
The ears up, tail up like a periscope. This is dominant aggression. When the dog stiffens, a great sign is when they stiffen up, their body gets all tight.
Right.
They may be looking out the corner of their eye. So that
Time
kind
to
of
back off.
yeah, that stiffening behaviour is
Okay.
listen, go away. If we get to the growl stage, we get to that low growl, things are going a little bit too fast, because that can go from growl to snap just like that.
Sure.
So we need to look at those early signs, switch the dog off.
Okay.
Okay. And even if another dog's being aggressive towards yours, or the other dog's stiffing up,
Sure.
correct your dog. Take it out of the loop.
Gotcha. Sounds great. Thanks. Thank you, everyone, for coming out to Pet-A-Palooza. We had a great time today. I got some great tips by Daryl Payne. You can visit me, John Overchuck, at overchuck.com, or you can call me toll free at 1-855-OVERCHUCK. Thanks again for coming out. Hey everyone, if you really want to spoil your dog, we have an amazing spa weekend package for your dog. Come over to our tent, meet Daryl Payne and myself, and if you have a legal question, please feel free to ask.